Hi, and welcome. What was going to be a Facebook Live, but instead, this is a pre recorded presentation of our Happy Holidays at Halloween. I am Kellie Davis, and I am running for Oceanside City Council, District 3. And for today, we thought, yes, we know it's Halloween, but let's talk about the holidays that are coming. I know it comes earlier every year. And we are so excited to have our current guest on, Jaizsha Ross of Plan to Be Extra. She's joining us, and she's going to be doing a little craft. So a little bit about Jaizsha Ross, a very creative individual. I met Jaizsha through a mutual friend, Angela Miranda. Big shout out to Angela Miranda, and also the daughters that I share. I have some interesting, amazing daughters. So big shout out to Elise, Deanna, and Sienna, better known as Cece, for also introducing me to some really yummy people here at Oceanside, and creative and just innovative people. And Jaizsha Ross falls into one of those categories of shared friends of the daughters I share. So I was very excited to have her on the show. And we're talking about, sustainability. We talk about recycling. And I thought it was befitting to have her on because her crafts work a lot with that in mind. And she's just an awesome human being, awesome human doing. And also, she also creates masks. So as we go along, this is just going to be a very easy, do-it-yourself, how to make holiday cards and turn them into some really cool things. So without further ado, I'd like to invite the very creative, the very talented Jaizsha Ross, owner and founder of Plan to Be Extra. Welcome, Jaizsha.
Hello, everyone. Again, my name is Jaizsha. I have the opportunity to meet Kellie, of course, like she said, through her beautiful daughters and some friends. A little bit about me. I love to create, even if people aren't asking me to. So here in my home, due to COVID, I've just had a chance to really explore that creativity a little bit further. And I'm really happy to be able to share some really fun, some simple, some inexpensive ways that you guys can start, to seek sustainability through the holidays. So the reason why we're choosing holiday cards, because this is all about how to reuse holiday cards. We're picking them because, one, when the holidays are over, everyone goes to the big box stores and they swoop up all the clearance items. They're getting ribbon, they're getting the holiday cards because they're like 50 cents a box, and we all have like these hopes and dreams that, I'm going to send Christmas cards to my entire family. November, December rolls around the next year, we don't end up using them. So, we had like really good hopes, we had really good dreams, we had really good intentions, but sometimes it just doesn't happen. So at least I know within my family, sometimes we end up with like boxes of holiday cards. And then the other reason we end up with them is because people do send them to us for the holidays. And we read them, we enjoy them. Sometimes we get to display them, but depending on your family or situation, you may end up with boxes and boxes of holiday cards you received, and you're not really sure what to do with them. So I have found a couple just really, some of them are simple, some of them are a little bit more advanced ways for you to go ahead and take advantage of those holiday cards you already have at home. So materials, here's what you're gonna need. First, cards. Lots of cards, so many cards. Just ignore that, there's an avalanche over here because I've got so many cards. But you gotta have those to get started. We're also gonna go ahead and need, oh, okay, hold on one second. Big avalanche, okay. You're gonna need a gun. A glue gun, that is. That is essential when it comes to crafting. If you don't have one, get one. They're really inexpensive, and it's really going to make you a powerhouse for the holidays. Next, you are also going to need some regular glue, still some from your kids. They all have some of this left over. If you have some twine, this is really inexpensive. I keep it on hand because I use twine to wrap gifts. You'll get like 3 or 4 packs of these for like $1 at the Dollar Tree or the 99-cent store. Again, really inexpensive, great to have year round for different projects, just to kind of like have like a little box or bin of just things that you're able to use for various projects. Leftover ribbon, again, from wrapping gifts, from decorating the Christmas tree. I went ahead and just grabbed this off of there. We're also going to need, of course, cardstock. Again, this is probably in your crafting arsenal if you are watching this. Again, really inexpensive. Kids probably have some cardstock or some construction paper laying around. Of course, you need some scissors. And then just to get a little bit more creative, some pens of some sort to go ahead and write in your cards. And that's just kind of like the base kind of things to set the tone, set the pulse for what you're going to be creating. So now that we have all of our materials together, I'm going to go ahead and walk you guys through about like 4 to 5 different projects, excuse me, that you can actually go ahead and put together using all of those holiday cards. And again, these cards can be brand new ones that you just have collected and have never used, or they can be ones that your friends and family have sent you and you're really kind of at your wits' end as to what to do with them. So the first project I want to go ahead and show you all is probably the easiest one. So what we have here is I went ahead and took apart some of my Christmas cards. So just went ahead and cut or ripped the front part of my card off. And what I was left with was just this, very basic Happy Holidays. And what I've done is I've turned it into a postcard. So super simple to go ahead and make. I've kept the inside for myself because it had a personal sentiment to it, but this is a postcard. Put a stamp on it, super easy to go ahead and get. Again, most of us have stamps at home, or we should anyways. And then you can go ahead and just drop this in your mailbox without even having to go to the post office. Now, I know that some people are really sometimes at a loss for words as to like, what do you write in a holiday card, or what do you write on a postcard for the holidays? You can actually Google holiday sentiments, and they're going to give you some ideas of some festive, caring things to go ahead and leave as a message to your friends and family for the holidays. And with all the times of COVID that are going on, everyone's kind of cooped up, isolated from friends and family. This is a really great way to connect with someone and let them know that you're thinking about them. And again, using something you already have in your home. Okay, the next one that we have is this guy here. So I actually went ahead and cut out Santa from one of my cards, and I went ahead and affixed him to this cardstock that I have here. Super, super easy to do, and you can add embellishments as you like, but what I've done is I've turned it into a gift card holder. So instead of just handing out a gift card or spending a ton of money on those inexpensive gift card holder, or those expensive gift card holders, I should say, that people kind of just use once and then toss, go ahead and use the Christmas card you already have, and then go ahead and hot glue a gift card on the inside, and they're able to go ahead and just pull it off once they're ready and go ahead and use it. Next one I have here, again, the kids will kind of love this. I did another one where I cut the snowman off of another gift card, holiday card that I had. And then he had a little scarf on him, so I kind of just like propped it up. So it's kind of like a little 3D effect, and wrote Happy Holidays on it. And then last but not least, this one's a little bit more like advanced, I guess you could say, if you're like really kind of feeling it after you get going on the easy ones. But I've made this card here. So what this is, it's actually about 4 different cards. And what I did was I took those cards and I cut them into strips. Now, after I cut these cards into strips, I went ahead and glued them to a piece of cardstock. And then I outlined a design of a Christmas tree and then went ahead and cut it out. So that's how you're able to get that sort of design on there. And again, just for a little added effect, I went ahead and just added a little ribbon on top here. Not even tied in a bow, it's literally just tied in a knot for those of you that are bow challenged, and then hot glued that right to the top. Again, if you wanted to go another step forward, you could go ahead and add some, little glitter for snowflakes and things like that, but you can really get super creative with these. These are a great project for your little ones who kind of want to get into the holiday spirit as well. So those are the first ones that we have. Put these to the side here.
Jaizsha, as you're going through this, how, have you always been a crafty kind of gal, or did you, what's up with that? Like you just can't get rid of, are you one of those chicks? Talk to me.
Crafting has always been very rooted in who I am and what I do. I was in Girl Scouts from the time I was a wee little one all the way until I graduated high school. So crafting has always been a big part of that. And my mom always made sure we had glue and paper and glitter and all sorts of things within the home for us to just be able to make what we wanted to go ahead and make. And moving into an adult, those crafts have definitely evolved into this beast that it is now. And unfortunately, you can't see my whole little area, but this part of my living room here is actually like a whole little crafting central with cutting machines, and I've got multiple printers here on one side. And last night I was up to 2 a.m. just in the zone, just making last night. So yeah, it's just always really been a part of me and what I like to do. So next, again, we're gonna get a little bit more advanced as we move forward with this. Next, we're gonna go ahead I went ahead and made a 3-dimensional ornament. So you'll see inside this one has like the little Happy Holidays card. It's got a snowman, and it goes all the way around. And then that's the top part, so you can see what it looks like. And again, with that twine that I had earlier from my supply. Now, I'll go ahead and kind of explain how you make this one, because again, this one's a little bit more advanced, but what I've done is I have taken a couple holiday cards and I've cut some circles out of them. Here we go. Cut some circles out of them, and I cut a total of 5 different circles. And here was the kind of funny part. I realized after I had taken apart the cards that some of them actually had designs on the back or were colored on the back. So I was able to utilize not only the front, but also the back of the cards for this design. So I have all these here. I chose colors that kind of match each other so that the ornament matches. And then what I've done is I've taken each one and I folded it in half. And I'll do this here just very quickly so you can see.
And I think it's also worth mentioning, whether they say Christmas or whatever, these are holiday ornaments. It could have there's Happy Hanukkah cards. It doesn't matter. Ornaments can decorate.
Exactly.
It can, cubicles.
And so the way I got this idea actually was from people that were making decorations, like home decor, out of books. So this idea actually came from reusing old books or damaged books. And I was like, you know what? Hold on a second. I think we can do something with that. So I've got my pieces and I've kind of stuck them, the back sides together, and just a little hot glue, and have affixed it. So now I've got 2 cards that are stuck together. And then you're going to go all the way around until you have all 5 pieces, or excuse me, you have 4 pieces stuck together. Let me just do that really quickly. Now, once you get to the last piece, before you go ahead and affix it, you want to go ahead and take a little bit of your ribbon or your twine because you are going to have something to go ahead and attach it to. So I went ahead and cut a piece, not super long, but just long enough to hang like on a tree. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into the area that I haven't glued anything into yet. I've gone all the way around, and I'm going to glue it right in there, right in the crack, so that I have a little piece hanging out. Let me go ahead and run this through here. So now we've got our little holder, and then I'm going to go ahead and insert the last piece of the ornament to go ahead and cover that section up. So now all my pieces are stuck together, and I can go ahead and hang it from a tree. Well, he's upside down, but that's okay. You know, not everyone's perfect at cutting circles, and I know I had some little issues with like little white parts sticking out. You can totally go back and just trim up those areas that are kind of hanging off, and no one's even gonna know. I ain't gonna be looking at it. And again, you can do this not only for holiday cards, you could do this for birthday cards that you have laying around. You could go ahead and do it with extra gift wrap, with books, magazines, pretty much anything. And I just used a circle for demonstration purposes, but you can actually do this with a Christmas tree shape. You could do this with a cute little, you know, wobbly looking ornament shape. And as long as they're all the same shape, you can go ahead and glue them all the way around to create that 3D effect. So again, this is just the basic one, but you can definitely get way more creative and kind of take off from there. I've even seen people put beads and things like hanging down from the bottom and things like that. So that is our ornament. It's super easy to do. The next one that we went ahead and did, this one I would say is probably the most advanced one out of all of these that we have going on here. And it's not what I would call a one session sort of craft. This is something that you might have to come back to over the course of a day or 2 days or whenever you have some time. But today is Halloween. You can get started now, and hopefully by the day after Thanksgiving or December the 1st, in my case, you can go ahead and have it ready to go ahead and put out to share everyone. So what I've done is I've created a holiday wreath using Christmas cards or holiday cards. So what I've done is this. And again, you'll see why in a moment why this is not a one session craft, but what I've done is I have taken apart a ton of holiday cards that we had, and I've decided, just for the sake of the wreath that I want it, I cut them into a holly leaf shape. So cut them into these shapes. I have 2 different sizes. I have a tiny one and I have a big one. And again, just personal preference.
That looks perfect. I mean, did you do that freehand?
Some of them are freehand. Some of them, most of these are freehand. I just created a little template out of cardstock, or even better, if you're making a template or a stencil that you're gonna have to use repeatedly, like for something like this, use a cereal box. It's a heavier type of cardstock. It's gonna be, give you a little bit more resistance if you accidentally cut into it, so you won't cut into it as often as you would another piece of paper. So a cereal box, or even if you wanted to go ahead and recycle those campaign ads that come to you in the mail, they're on that really thick, that really nice kind of glossy paper that you can go ahead and use, and you can go ahead and use it to make your little design.
I love it. Sustainability after the election, to use art, that's awesome.
I should have taken a picture. I had them all like stacked up, and I was like, what am I gonna do with these? I was like, let me just set you to the side. I got something going on for you later on. So after I went ahead and stayed up, and I just put on a little Netflix show and just cut, kept cutting, and I filled up a little container like this. Then what you're gonna do next is, after you have a nice amount, or what you think is a nice amount, you're gonna go ahead and get some toothpicks. Again, a lot of us have toothpicks in our homes for, entertaining and things like that. But if for some reason you don't have toothpicks, you can get a whole box, 500 of these at the dollar store. They're super inexpensive. Do not pay more than $1 for these, please. But you can go ahead and use these again for the holidays, or like your little hors d'oeuvres and things like that. So not just for this project, you can go ahead and use it for other things as well. But what I've done is I've taken one of these, and on the back, I put just a little bit of hot glue. And I put the toothpick on the back, so it looks like this. Let's see how long it is. And I went ahead and I made a whole bunch in advance. So I have them all ready to go. They're different colors, different designs, fronts and backs, all different ones. And again, you don't have to do a holly shape. You can do hearts. You can do Christmas trees. You can do ornaments. You can do circles. It's completely up to you. But after I have a nice little pile going so I can keep going, this is the project that you end up with. So
I like that.
So it's not completely done. I'm going to show you how to go ahead and do this, but let me give you a little close-up. As you can see, what I've done is I've used the big ones to kind of go around, and then the parts where you can see the wreath form, I've actually filled in with the little tiny mini ones. So the wreath form, so this is what it looks like on the back. I actually took this apart from like another less expensive wreath that I have. It was just covered in ribbon. I just took the ribbon off. But these forms you can actually get at the dollar store as well. So this is super cheap. Like I said, you already have the cards. You may or may not have the toothpicks, $1 for the form, and you've got this beautiful wreath that you can go ahead and make. And I didn't bother paying attention to color, so this is just a completely random sort of design that's been created going all the way around. So what you're gonna do?
Awesome. I know,
yeah,
and I know that people hang wreaths at Thanksgiving as well. You can just
exactly. And so this is something that you can go ahead and recreate actually for different things. So children, they've got a ton of those Valentine's Day cards that just kind of lay around after they come in. Use the Valentine's Day cards and you could go ahead and make a little wreath for Valentine's Day that you could hang on their door or things like that. And again, for other holidays that you have as well that cards may be coming in for. The other cool thing about this is after I was kind of working on it, and I was kind of moving about my home after I laid it down, I realized, I was like, wait a minute, hold on a second. If you go all the way around, it actually makes a really cute centerpiece. So like imagine this like sitting on your table and you put like a candle, or you put like something like sitting on top of the table. You've got this really awesome piece, and it doesn't have to be it doesn't have to stay green. You can spray paint this if you want. You can wrap it in tissue paper and things like that if you want, but I thought the idea of using this as a centerpiece too, due to its size, would be really great. So how to go ahead and fill this. So what you're going to go ahead and do is you're going to go ahead and poke this into the styrofoam at a very low angle. So you can see here, got a very, very low angle. And I do one so that it's kind of going out to the edge, and I do another one so that's kind of going out to this edge, so that way it has kind of like a fanning effect. Go ahead and just slide it in there so it sticks out. And then another one on this side, and again, so one kind of going out, one kind of going out into both directions, so that way you can make sure that the wreath form is being covered. And then I go ahead and use some bigger ones to fill in. Oops. Sorry, having some things sticking together. Then I go ahead and just kind of fill in the little middle areas there. So it usually takes about 3 or 4 to get like the full fan effect for that section. So you'll notice I have some little green spots here in between that were left from like lack of coverage. So what I've done is I've gone back in with some of the small ones, and now I've covered that hole with some of the small ones. Now, the bigger you cut your leaves or your designs, of course, the fewer that you'll need for the whole piece. I went ahead and decided kind of like on this medium size, just because the more pieces you have, the more lavish, the more upscale that it's gonna go ahead and look. So I'll go ahead and just fill in these last couple pieces here so you all can see the finished effect. So mind you, I still have this whole little section to fill out.
And as you're doing that, I want to remind everyone that yesterday, Venus Johnson and Addie Lyon were on the show. Addie is the president of Staircase. It's a CSUSM student-run organization, Staircase, and they use reusable art. Isn't that right, Venus? Why don't you show her a little bit of what you all discussed yesterday as she's filling that in?
Correct. So Addie Lyon, who is the president of Cal State San Marcos Staircase, she has a wonderful initiative where they have the reuse project, where they find anything sustainable, any type of material that they can reuse and recycle to make any type of craft. So just the other day, this past Wednesday, they had a workshop where they were making Halloween buddies, I believe, or holiday buddies. And all they needed was an old water bottle and some paint. And they created these lavish little cute little buddies, and all from recyclable product. So they really urge and encourage the expression of art and using art as therapy in a very sustainable and reusable way.
That's awesome. So if we can also put Addie Lyon in her organization, and she also, starting back in November, they're going to be having workshops again. So put that email in for Addie, and make sure that plan to be extra. I'm sure you've already put that in, but let's make sure that we get Jaizsha's business there. And while we're on the subject of Jaizsha, as she's making this, she also makes masks. 'Tis the season for masks as well. And you know what? If you're feeling a little Thanksgiving, you're feeling a little holiday, whether you celebrate Kwanzaa, Hanukkah, Christmas, whatever that holiday is, talk to Jaizsha, because she has masks. Isn't that right, Jaizsha? We'll turn that back over to you.
Yes. So since the pandemic started, when the pandemic started, I was a little hesitant about making masks at first, because we didn't really know how long it was going to last. But after a couple of weeks in isolation, I was like, okay, it's time to leave the house. I gotta go out. But as my friends and family like to call me, I'm super extra. I couldn't just wear a regular surgical mask. So I went through my fabric bin. I went through some old pillowcases and sheets that I had, and I started whipping up some masks to go ahead and wear. Now I do have like some sensitivity around my ears, and I wear glasses, so I really didn't want anything actually sitting on my ears. So I began making a mask that had 2 straps that go actually around the head. People have found that they're a lot more comfortable for long wear, especially for our essential workers. And I find them to be better for kids because they can't really take them off that easily. They're like strapped to their heads. So gotta keep our kids safe. So I started making them that way. And I started making them just for friends and family. And then it started going to like friends and friends of friends. And I soon got inundated with just too many orders coming through Facebook. So I went ahead and launched a site to go ahead and showcase all the different fabrics that I have available. Right now, I think on the site, we probably have 50 plus different designs, and I do try to keep them seasonal as well. But everything ranging from comic book characters, simple patterns, you've got cartoons, Disney, like all different sorts of things. So there's something for everyone on there. And I've got a lot of different options to pick from as far as the straps. So I've got the regular behind the head. I have an extra large option. So if you're worried about the straps being too tight, I can make them with extra pieces of elastic, so that way you can tie them and make them to your own length. And I just launched the behind the ear ones just because those are really quick for when you're going through a drive-through or something like that. I myself put that in my car, just like in the little cup holder. So if I'm going to Starbucks, I can just throw it on right quick and then just take it off really quick if I'm driving around in the car. So again, those are all on the website. I try to go ahead and add, new designs and new patterns as I go ahead and find them. But if you have any questions, feel free to go ahead and reach out to me through the site, or you can go ahead and feel free to reach out to me via Instagram. And if you live locally, I can go ahead and arrange for free delivery or for free pickup as well.
Well, we have Jaizsha's masks, and I want to thank Plan to Be Extra for donating. She also donated, her company donated quite a few masks to the Oceanside homeless resource, and they were used immediately. So I want to thank you so much for that donation on behalf of that organization. So thank you for that.
You are so very welcome. And I really do look forward to being able to provide them with more, as well as some other local organizations too, because now that all the friends and family are taken care of, there's still a lot of need in the community to go ahead and have these masks as we move into the new year, and still with that uncertainty of when we're not going to be using them anymore. So all I can say is definitely stock up, and please, please, please make sure you are washing your mask. I cannot stress that enough. A lot of people are not washing them. Please wear one a day. Make sure you go ahead and wash it. And if you've got the elastic kind, I highly recommend that you dry on very, very low. That way you can go ahead and extend the life of your elastic.
Thank you. Can we get another shot of that wreath? That I think it's kind of, look at that.
All right, and then so here's what we have.
That is awesome.
And then I went ahead and just added some ribbon so we can go ahead and hang it.
You know, Jaizsha, I'm going to tell you this right now. I'm going to say this. I tell you the truth. I'm going to get the wreath. I'm going to go through my holiday cards, and I'm going to say what she said to put it in on the angle. And I just don't know if it's going to look like that.
Hey, let me tell you, I went through a couple slight revisions, and just don't be deceived. I have my own crafting fails as well. This kind of had a couple different evolutions before we came to this ultimate design here. But again, this is the basic advanced version of the wreath. If you wanted to go ahead and get more fancy, add a giant holiday bow on there. Feel free to add, another Christmas card cutout or something like that on here. It's totally up to you. Get creative, get fun, get the kids involved, get the whole family involved. And like I said, fill your home with all of these projects using things you already have.
I want to thank you, Jaizsha, because one of the things for me is because people are inside, and I wanted to share this for a Halloween craft for those that are not participating in the trick-or-treating. And I haven't really gotten clear. I think the city has recommended not to do it, but I think people are going to do what people do. So I like to make sure that I stay in line with the city and the county, that stay at home today and do some crafts, make some candies inside the house, make this more of a trick and make your treats inside. So this is one of the reasons why I want to have this very creative being on. And I also wanted to say before we leave here, if Venus, if you can put it in the comments, at 3 o'clock today, I will be on a sustainability forum with some other candidates. It's the Sustainable Urban Network, who I'm also going to be introducing Jaizsha to as well. And it's going to be on a Facebook through the I think it's called Gospel, maybe I have it here, the Gospel Radio 1 Network. It's on Facebook. So 3 o'clock, please tune into that. And Jaizsha, how do people find you, Jaizsha? How do people get involved? Where are you?
So you can, the best way to find me right now is going to be on Instagram. You can find me at Plan, 2, B, extra, on Instagram. That's probably going to be the easiest way. You can also find me on my website, which is the Plan to Be extra.square.site, where you'll be able to go ahead and see all my masks. Again, I make a lot of other crafts, but right now it's very much mask oriented, just because of the need that we have. But if you tune in later on today, I will be posting pictures of all of the things that we created today. And hopefully over the coming weeks, I'll be able to share some more sustainable ideas with you guys.
You will be welcomed back. This isn't a movement. It's not just a campaign. So we do plan to be extra after campaign. We are still not going away. We have a mission here. So I want to say thank you for your time. Thank you for you craft goddess, you. We so appreciate you. And thank you for joining us today on this pre-recorded site. You have an amazing, safe Halloween. Stay inside and craft and plan to be extra. Go on her site. Jaizsha is amazing. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me. And I hope you guys have a very haunted Halloween.
Well, thank you for joining us.
No problem. Bye-bye.